What's up, guys? It's MV Boxing. I just finished up watching Devin Haney versus George Kambosos 2, and this was a 12-rounder for the undisputed WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF Lightweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, October 15th, from the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia, and this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or in the ESPN app. And in this fight, Devin Haney once again got a clear and pretty wide unanimous decision victory over George Kambosos. So I personally scored this bout 119 to 109 in favor of Devin Haney, and the three judges scored this bout 118 to 110 twice, and 119 to 109 once, agreeing with my scorecard. So Devin Haney won this fight pretty clearly, and finally, after that crazy Wilder versus Hellenius full fight card, I was there for that card, but then I finally got to watch this fight on like the drive back as well. So, I mean, yeah, finally I'm able to talk about it and what I saw and what I thought about the fight. I mean, really, I'm going to be 100% honest. It wasn't the most exciting of fights. I mean, if I'm just going to be for real. Really, Devin Haney just dictated the pace of it. I mean, just overall, it was just... I mean, the thing is, one part that made it boring and not really made me want to watch it is because, one, it was just the most unneeded rematch in, like, boxing history. Devin Haney already beat George Kambosos clearly and effectively in their first fight. And then they just go out here and Kambosos enacts his rematch clause. And then this happens and the exact same thing, but except a bit more dominant for Haney happens. So yeah, just break this fight down. I don't even need to break this fight down round by round. I mean, the first round was the only round I gave to George Kambosos. I mean, aside from maybe one other round you could give to him, to give to Kambosos. I mean, Kambosos, in the earlier rounds, it looked like, Kambosos, it looked like he fixed up his game plan a bit, because he came out much more aggressive than the first fight, which I actually thought that would have helped him. But then it only worked for the first round because he only outworked Haney a bit in that first round, which gave him that round. But then every other round, I just didn't really see. I mean, some of them, yeah, maybe one or two of them, maybe okay, you could give to Kambosos, but I mean, every single one of them, besides maybe like one or two more, I mean, they were just clear-cut rounds for Haney. Haney, after that first round, he immediately got much better. He immediately got more defensive. He really just adjusted. I mean, he adjusted mid-fight, and it really worked. I mean, this just sort of shows how George Kambosos is a bit of a one-dimensional fighter. He just sticks to one style the whole fight and fights it, even if he's losing. Like in this fight, and even in the first fight, when they fought each other. I mean, Kambosos just really didn't change his style. He just got dominated. He was getting hit with right hands. He wasn't really doing much back. That was effective work. Yes, he would try to come forward, but Haney was just the much better technician in there, landing the better shots overall, and he won this fight pretty clearly, without a doubt. And I gave every single round, besides that first round, to Devin Haney for that very reason. He was just landing the better shots than Kambosos and dictating the pace of the fight, and just overall was just the much better fighter in there. I don't even need to go in depth round by round because of how just clear this fight was for Haney. Just like the first fight. I mean, yeah, Devin Haney, now I believe 29-0 it is. This was his first defense of the undisputed world titles. So, I mean, props to Devin Haney. He was able to just come down here, make weight, defend his title successfully, and now he's just going to go back to the United States. I believe he still has a few fights on that deal with Top Rank. I don't really know if he's 100% like signed with Top Rank. I think he just has a few fights with them. So, yeah, I think in Devin Haney's next fight, yeah, this goes into the question what is next for Devin Haney. So I think in Haney's next fight, I mean, really, when it comes to this high level in the lightweight division, of course you would like to see Devin Haney take on the best of the best, like Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, all these other guys up here. Gustavo Daniel Lemos, he's a very solid fighter in the lightweight division. I mean, obviously, just really the lightweight division stacked, like Vasyl Lomachenko, just all these guys in the lightweight division. I mean, sorry if I forgot some, because it's pretty late at night right now where I am, and I just want to get this video done. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, Devin Haney should be in for a big fight against a top 10 name, I guess. And yeah, Devin Haney already beat some of the other solid fighters at 135. Obviously, he beat Kambosos twice here. He beat Jojo Diaz, and he beat Jorge Linares as well, and Zaur Abdullayev, who got that win over Linares. So he beat a decent part of like the top 15 in the lightweight division. So I mean, I would expect him to defend his titles yet again on Top Rank against someone else who's in the top 10. But as for George Kambosos Jr., I mean, well, actually going back to Devin Haney, I mean, maybe he could take on the winner of Vasyl Lomachenko versus Jermaine Ortiz. That'd be very, very interesting to see, which will most likely be Lomachenko versus Haney, because, I mean, even though it's not a week before the fight and I haven't released my prediction yet, I just think that Vasyl Lomachenko will beat Jermaine Ortiz. But as for George Kambosos Jr., losing here for the second time in his career, second dominant loss to Devin Haney. I think that, I mean, really, I just don't know what's next for him. I mean, before the whole Teofimo fiasco when he beat him, and then, you know, everything with that, he was fighting some decent level guys in the top 15, top 10 in the lightweight division, and I still think he's definitely around that level, 100%. I think he's in the top 10, despite losing clearly and dominantly to Haney. I still think he is top 10. But however, if he does, like when he was fighting before he fought, obviously Haney both times, he was fighting on DAZN. So actually, I think a really, really solid fight for George Kambosos could be maybe him versus Zaur Abdullayev, maybe him versus the winner of William Zepeda and Jojo Diaz. That'd be a very interesting fight as well. Like either of those two, maybe some other guys in the top 10, top 15 could be next for George Kambosos Jr. But he might be able to take on, or he might actually get a win in Australia first before getting another big opportunity to fight a top 10, top 15 name in the United States on a big DAZN card. Because I think he actually wants to owe maybe something to his home country fans, because he's coming off 2 losses in his own home country that were pretty dominant. So he might actually take on a lower ranked guy who's like top 30, top 25, get a pretty easy win, and then continue building himself back up, facing top 10 guys to top 15, somewhere around that level. So overall, Devin Haney once again defeats George Kambosos Jr., this time putting even more emphasis on getting an even a wider unanimous decision victory to improve to 29-0 and to successfully defend his undisputed lightweight world titles. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.